So welcome back, everybody. This is John with SwingFit. So have you ever been curious and wanted to know how many shots it really takes in order to find the best fit? Or perhaps maybe you walked into one of these establishments before and just been taken back from all the different shaft options that's available to you, all the different heads that's at a club fitter's disposal, and really just scratched your head trying to figure out how is it even possible that you're going to be able to test all of those options and combinations in a single 60 to 90 minute session? Well, if that thought has ever crossed your mind, today is a great video because I'm going to switch things up. I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm going to show you how many shots it actually takes. I'm going to show you every single shot in a single fitting session, start to finish, good, bad, or indifferent. So without further ado, let's jump in to find out exactly how many shots it took this customer. So before we dive into today's topic, I want to take a quick second to welcome any new viewers that's out there. So if this happens to be your first time, or if you're just strolling through and want to learn more about the club fitting process and better understand what's going on in the mind of a club fitter, I can promise you, you are in the right place. And literally, you're just one click away from gaining access to this weekly content that we're putting out. So all you got to do is just hit that subscribe button below. And if you have any questions or comments along the way, do me a favor. Don't wait until the end. Go ahead and drop them in the comments below as they pop into your mind. So today's question is a popular question we often get asked, and we felt, why not do a video to help you set your expectations, just in case you happen to be thinking about going through the fitting process yourself. And truth be told, there is such a thing as a shot clock in every single fitting session that we do. The key is, can we beat the buzzer in order to help our customers find the best fit before fatigue sets in? Because I promise you, fatigue will enter into the equation, and at some point during the fitting process, we will make a switch from player A swings to player B swings, and it's one of the many reasons why we don't like doing full bag fittings in the same day. So in order to set the tone for today's video, it's not going to be like any other fitting video that you may have watched. In fact, I'm going to show you the before and after right now, so let's take a look. So this is the customer's driver baseline, which we will speak to in a second, and we ended up, spoiler alert, in the brand new Taylormade Sim 2 9-degree driver, Ventus Blue 6X, the aftermarket version with Velocor. And when you take a look at the numbers side by side, I mean, there's no disputing that this was hands down better than his current gamer. Ball speed dropped just a little bit of fatigue factor, but the customer ended up hitting it better and farther. Launch improved in the last combination, spin dropped, and carry distance, right? Look at that. I mean, we went from 264 to 280 and 284 to 300, so 16 extra yards. But when you look at the top right, I'm talking straighter and farther. I mean, literally, that's what we strive to achieve. And if I can achieve that at the tail end of the fitting session, I know when the customer's fresh, it's only going to be a little bit better. So now let's take you through the journey on how we got there. So let's watch the customer's baseline shots. And the customer's currently playing the Ping G400 Max from a couple years ago. He was custom fit and paired into the Tensai White 6X shaft. So very stout shaft, very, very stable. And the customer said he can actually hit some pretty good bombs. And you see one in there at 277, which was the very first one. But he said if he misses, it's going to be leaks out to the right. And he's just not happy with the trajectory. It's definitely low launching. And when we take a look at the numbers, definitely those are the areas I'm most concerned about. It's low launch, high spin, look at loft. Loft is also low for that 9-degree driver, and his AOA is actually down. So, I'm quite confident that his delivery is playing a little bit of a factor in this. But when I asked him, why was he hitting down? He says, if I hit up on it, that's when I lose it well more to the right, and said this is the only way he can actually keep the ball in play. Now, shots 11 through 22 is using the Callaway Epic Speed Driver, brand new one, checking in at 10.5 degrees of loft with the Autolove Rogue white shaft in it. Now, we had the customer hit these shots in hopes of trying to improve launch and loft. But as we take a look, he hit a couple good ones in there, but it came at the decrement of increasing spin. And this is definitely one of the many things that we have to take in consideration when we are changing combinations. Is anytime we can actually change one or two numbers, there's always an outside chance that you're going to impact something else. And in this situation, spin is still a little high, and I'm not happy with that. So second thought is I'm going to stay in the same driver. I'm going to turn loft down. Customer likes to work it a little left or right, so a little open face isn't a bad thing. But I'm going to try the Ventus Blue 6X shaft in it, and let's see what that looks like. So shots 23 through 30 using the Ventus Blue 6X. Turn down one click on the loft sleeve, trying to mitigate some of that spin without impacting the launch or the loft. And you definitely seen that. I had a couple crazy right ones because of that face being open and some spinners in there as well. And when we take a look at the results of the very last shot, this really wasn't bad. And I would have been happy with this if I seen more shots like this out of that grouping, but it didn't. It was still all over the map, so it's time to move on to the next one. So in this series, we're using the Ping G425 LST head, 10.5 degrees of loft. So low spin technology and a little bit higher loft to help with launch and seeing if we can actually get the results that we're hoping. And we got to pair it into the stock AV orange shaft. And we're not going to stay here long at all. I mean, literally it's like 4 or 5 shots, and the customer did not like the feel of it. So we're going to try the same head, just the stock Rogue white shaft, similar to what we just tried a couple minutes ago. So let's take a look at those. So same head, different shaft. We're now in the Rogue White 70X shaft. And the thought was, is if I go a little heavier weight, can I just tame the tempo down a little bit and tighten up that dispersion? And there's no disputing that we was able to do that. But I'm kind of curious, you know what? How does the customer perform with the same shaft, just a little lighter weight? So let's take a look. So not a bad result whatsoever. Little lighter weight shaft in this go around. And as the fit progresses, we just don't need to see as many shots whenever we make the changes. And as you see in this screenshot right here, I mean, just look at the dispersion. Other than the 2 shots that bleeded out to the left a little bit, everything else is nice tight grouping, and spins in the right window, launches in the right window. We are seeing a little of a decrement in club speed, but 260 total, or 260 carry, 284 total. So it's not really bad. So here's one of my thought is now, same combination, let's move the weight from the back to the toe. So exact same head, exact same shaft, only difference there is we moved the weight in the toe, and definitely this was the better fit, because look at the dispersion here. The 2 bleeders to the left was from the previous grouping, and just look how tight the grouping is now. I'm really, really happy. Look at our numbers here at the top. That's getting better. And just to kind of, you know, trust but verify, what happens when we move the weight into the heel side? So let's take a look. So shots 49 through 53, weight in the heel. Prime example of how just making the smallest changes can yield a different result. So same everything, just we moved away from the toe to the heel. Night and day difference, higher spin, not happy whatsoever. And there's something else I'm not happy with, so let's take a look. And that is the customer speed is starting to diminish as the fit progresses. So once again, we're fighting against that clock here, but the customer's still hitting down on it. So I'm gonna make a little technique change here at the tail end, and we're gonna actually see if we can actually get him to tilt his shoulder a little bit to the right to try to hit up on it to see if that has any impact in it. So let's take a look at these last 10 shots, and you just might be surprised. No changes whatsoever other than the customer tilting a little bit at address, try to hit up on the ball, night and day difference. Customer actually got a little bit of swing speed back, and he started to pipe them down the middle. So not a bad ending result, but we're not done yet, because this is what separates good fitters from great fitters, is just when you think you've got everything out of the fit, there's always one last option. There's one last combination that we need to try, and I'm going to try the Taylormade sim head. We're going to try a couple different shafts just to see if a little lighter head weight can help the customer swing the club a little bit more efficiently. So let's take a look. So as you watch shots 63 through 68, Completely different result. Customers hitting up on the ball, once again, really like that. But the head we're using, Taylormade Sim 9-degree driver. I still like the same low spin characteristics, but now that I got the customer hitting up on the ball, I can actually take loft down. I no longer have that dependency on loft because the customer's just, getting in the air, and really wasn't a bad result, but not sold. Let's try the Ventus Red 6X and see what that does. So shot 68 through 73, Taylormade Sim 9-degree, shaft change, Ventus Red 6X. Customer said hated the feel. He said it just felt too whippy for him, didn't like it, wasn't bad results. So one last shaft, one last ditch effort, Ventus Blue 6X coming right out. So definitely no disputing, night and day difference. All we did, pop the Ventus Blue 6X shaft in there, and the customer was hitting them north of total of 300 plus. Really, really good outcome. And heck, when we take a look at shot 76, look at these results. And this is what we've been chasing. Great ball speed, good club speed at the tail end of a fitting session, awesome backspin numbers, and you just can't beat that carry in total distance. So in closing, we truly hope you found value in this information we shared with you today, and it's just another glimpse of the entire fitting progression from start to finish. How many shots does it take to actually find the best fit? Well, for this customer, it took 78 shots. And general rule of thumb, and this is something that we have seen throughout the years, is on average, anywhere between 70 to 85 is really the point where we start to see fatigue start to creep in. And once again, this will vary from customer to customer. So if you happen to have any questions or comments about today's video, then do me a favor, leave them in the remarks below to see if we can help you find the answers that you're searching for. So don't forget to take a look at one of these videos over here to the side, because just might be a couple golden nuggets that can help you take your game to another level. So until next week, thanks for watching.